Hello students, today's topic is current electricity, which is our third chapter. So what constitutes an electric current? So whenever charges move, we say that electric current is there. So moving charges constitute an electric current. So now here I have taken a conductor and these are your representing your positive charges and these are representing your negative charges. So let us consider a small area held normal to the direction of flow of charges. So this one is the small area which is held normal to the direction of flow of charges. Inside this conductor, both positive and negative charges may flow in forward as well as may move in backward direction across the area. So let us take in a given interval of time t, the net positive charges move in forward direction is q plus. So how to find out the value q plus? Now suppose your in forward direction your 40 positive charges moving and in backward direction you suppose 10 charges moving in backward direction. Then what is the net positive charges move in forward direction? Now 40 minus 10, that is your 30. Next, suppose now we will go for what is the negative charges move in forward direction, that is the net negative charges. Similarly, we will think that the negative charges flowing across area towards right is suppose your 30 negative charges, and the charges which are crossing this area towards left is suppose 5. So what is the net negative charges? Now what we will do? The forward minus the backward. So 30 minus 5, it will give us 25. So now how to find out the net charge flowing in forward direction? Now the net charge will be q is equals to q plus minus q minus as we have written here. So the value will be 30 minus 25, that is equals to 5. Suppose this much net charge has been gone through this area within a time interval of t equals to 5 seconds. So what is the current flowing through the cross-sectional area? Now q by t, that is equals to 5 by 5, so 1. So we will say that through this area your 1 ampere of steady current is flowing. So see, since here the magnitude of I came positive, we will say that if current value is coming positive, so just see, if current value is coming positive, what we have got, the I is equals to q by t, where the value comes to be positive, so the direction of current is in forward direction, that is from left to right. So if the magnitude is coming positive, so the current direction will be towards right, and if the value will come negative, then we will say that the direction of current will be in backward direction. So in case of steady current, we can use the formula I is equals to Q by T. So for non-uniform case or the case that is instantaneous current, what is the current at a particular time? For that I will write the formula that I, which is a function of t, will be the limit del t tends to 0 and del q by del t. So this is the instantaneous current expression, which can be written as also dq by dt. Next, what is the unit of current? Since I is equals to Q by T, so your coulomb per second, that is your termed as ampere. So the unit of current will be ampere. So this is the basic idea regarding your current and how to calculate the current. Let us now go for how current will flow in a conductor. So electric currents in conductors. See here, here a conductor is given where these are your positive charges, and again this one is representing the negative charge. So within the conductor, charges move in random motion. Okay, they move in a random motion where they collide with each other also, and also with the ions. So on average, what happens? The number of electrons traveling in any direction, okay, on average the number of electrons moving in any direction will be equals to the number of electrons moving in opposite direction. Here we are talking about the case of that when no external field is applied, when no electric field is applied. So in that case what happens? The number of electrons moving in any direction is equals to number of electrons moving in opposite direction. So for that, the total current, okay, the net current when electric field is not applied, that is equals to 0. No current is flowing. But now suppose I will connect a positive plate here. Okay, I will attach a disc which is having positively charged and a negatively charged. So at that time what will happen? The electrons which are moving in a random motion, they will start to move in a particular direction, that is towards the positive plate, in order to neutralize the effect of positive plate. So for a moment, for a short period of time, current will flow through the conductor. So the electrons will flow, and we will say that the current is flowing for a short period of time. According to historically, we are taking the sign convention that the opposite direction of flow of electron is to be considered as the direction of current. If electrons are flowing in this direction, then the direction of current will be opposite to the direction of current. So here we came to know that if electric field is not applied, the current is 0, and if we will apply some electric field, here positive plate and here negative plate, so an electric field is applied, so here the current value will not be equal. So this is the case of current flowing for a short period of time. If we want a continuous flow of current, then what we will do, we will connect a battery to the conductor. Then with the energy of battery, the electrons will continuously move through the conductor and we will have a continuous current through the conductor. So this is all about electric currents in conductor, that if no electric field is applied, current is 0, and if some electric field will be applied, current will flow. Now let us go our topic, that is Ohm's law. As you have studied in your class 10th, that is Ohm's law, that if potential difference across a conductor, this is the conductor, and suppose a battery is connected which is providing a potential difference across the ends of the conductor, suppose V. Due to the application of this potential, current will flow. If the voltage is more, then the current will be also more. So according to Ohm's law, if the temperature and other physical conditions remains constant, physical conditions means the dimension of the conductor, okay, if that happens, then the potential is directly proportional to the current, and we are like V is equals to I R I, where R is a proportionality constant called as resistance of the conductor. So what do you mean by resistance of the conductor? Resistance is the opposition offered by the conductor to the flow of current. Okay, what kind of opposition? See, when some potential will be applied, so your current will start to flow, and the electrons present inside the conductor, they will start to move towards the positive plate. So while moving towards the positive plate, they will collide with each other. They will collide with each other as well as with the positive ions. So due to collisions, their motion will decrease, and that opposition came due to the collision of electron is the resistance of the conductor. So in order to measure the resistance, we are taking the unit is ohm. So R is the resistance, and this opposition depends upon few factors. So let us discuss about those things. Those are that your resistance of a conductor is directly depends upon the length of the conductor, okay, and then it depends inversely to the area of the conductor. So R will be equals to rho L by A, and where rho is known as the resistivity of the conductor, which is a constant, and this resistivity depends only on the nature of the material. So this is the formula of R is equals to rho L by A. Suppose this is your equation, and initially we are getting equation, that is V is equals to IR This is suppose equation 1. This is equation 2. Now what will, if we will put equation 2 in 1, then we will have V is equals to I, and in place of R let us put this one, that is rho L by A. Suppose this is equation 3. Now I will introduce another expression. What is the current flowing per unit area? That is termed as your current density. What is current density? That is, I am representing by J. J is what? No, current per unit area. So this is your equation 4. And what is your area direction? No, area is normal to the direction of current, as I have represented in first diagram, that area is normal to the direction of flow of current. So now we are we know the relation of potential difference, that is V is equals to EL. This equation came from the potential gradient expression. Okay, that is E is equals to dV by dR. Here R is the length of the conductor. So I will write that this V is equals to EL. So initially in the previous page we had found that V is equals to I rho L by A, and here we are having V is equals to EL. So let us put the previous equation, I rho L by A is equals to EL. So L get cancelled. So E will be equals to I rho by A. And I is what? No, I we can write J into A rho by A. So A get cancelled. So we will have E is equals to J rho, and or we can write that J is equals to E by rho, that is 1 by rho. In place of 1 by rho I will write sigma. So what is your sigma? Now sigma is 1 by rho, that is the reciprocal of resistivity known as conductivity. And from this equation we came to know J is equals to sigma E. So J is our vector quantity, and this is the equivalent form of Ohm's law. One is your V is equals to IR, one, and another equivalent form is J is equals to sigma E. So these are the two equations of Ohm's law. J is your current density and sigma is conductivity and E is the electric field. So go through this topic. In next class we will discuss drift velocity.